We're joined by Tufts head coach Casey Donalfo and student athletes Charlie Tagliaferri and Connor Garzone for Tufts. This is its fourth national championship and first since 2015. We're going to start with an opening statement from coach, open it up for questions from the student athletes, and then we will dismiss the student athletes back to the locker room and take questions for coach. Coach?
Yeah, just super grateful, super proud of this group. Again, like if you had asked us, hey, like, this senior class is going to do this, I don't know if we would have felt 100% sure about it. It's a super small group. They've got a lot of different roles in the program. And, we're a pretty young team. I think we're ahead of schedule on that. But, those seniors really embraced their jobs, their roles. Just over the course of the last month, really bought in and made us the best version of ourselves. And just so grateful to, the alums, just for supporting us. Again, the expectation at Tufts is to win a national championship every year. And it's been a few years since we've done that. And the alums have really stuck with us, really stuck with me, stuck with the assistant coaches, believed in us, nothing but positive encouragement. And that means the world to me and to our guys. And, we knew we were going to break through eventually. And I'm just really proud and really grateful that we were able to do it with this group. So we're really happy to be here.
Questions for student athletes? Start over here.
Guys, you were here last year. The result was different. To get back here, can you kind of take us through the journey to get to this point, starting from that moment at the end of this weekend last year where you didn't get the result you wanted? What started that day that brought you to today?
Yeah, I think obviously losing that game last year was a pretty brutal moment for our team and for our group. But I think what got us back here was our ability to start day one the next day and just get back to work. You can't learn from your mistakes if you don't make them. And there was a bunch of mistakes we made in this game last year. And, it wasn't pretty at all times during the season. We had some bad games. We had some good games. But I think it was just trusting in our coaching staff to put us in the right position to win. And, just trusting in the guys around us and doing our job.
Come up front.
Paul Snyder, the Montauk Sun. Defensively, Connor, this Gaston, he had 5 goals against you when they beat you earlier this year. You only had 1 goal today, and you guys dominated them on the ground balls. You really did a nice job defensively on them. Your comments on that?
Yeah, I mean, he is one of the best players in the country. There's no doubt about it. It's not fun playing against him, and I got to give him credit for that. I think the difference today was we were a little bit smarter in sliding off him. I think we stayed a little sticky on him and didn't give him those same low angle looks that he's so good at. But I think really it was just a collective effort. Coach Toomey putting us in the right spot. Joey Waltbaum, George Panagopoulos, and Michael Ayers doing their job and giving me shots that I could save.
Come here and then go behind.
Chuck, for you, you scored that goal, 12 seconds in, 15 seconds in. After last year's start, to get the start like that for you, did it kind of calm the group down a little bit and let you guys settle into the game a little?
Yeah, definitely. I think in a game like this, it's always nice to get the first one. The nerves are high, especially like Coach said, we have a young team. A couple guys haven't played in this game, but a lot of us have. So I think we knew, we just forgot about last season. We were like, we're going to start this different. We knew we were capable of doing so. So just getting that early goal, I think really everyone was like, let's do this. Let's rock. We're ready to go. And we got this.
Kyle Devitt, New England Lacrosse Journal. You guys went in and out of a zone at first, and I think the way that you set it up with the poles on the bottom just kind of stopped them from getting those looks that they want to get underneath. As a goalie, were you happy to see those shots from not the low wing but the higher wing? Is that something you're really excited about when we get into the zone?
Yeah, certainly. I think I think definitely when you're playing a team like RIT, it's a lot of guys with a lot of box experience. So they're good on those low wings. I mean, that's what they're best at. And I think Coach Toomey and the entire defense felt like those top right, top left shots were ones that we could afford to give up and ones that I could save. And I think our defense just did a great job. When you have Joey Walbaum and Michael Ayers on those pipes, it's really tough to get a pass through there. So those guys did a great job of just forcing those top center, those top right, top left shots, and giving me ones that I can save and guys breaking out, get fast breaks going the other way, and score goals.
We'll go here. come over here, and then back there.
Connor and Charlie, last year was like trying to end a perfect season and, had this great senior class that was looking to win it all. And like you said, you guys are younger. You had the loss a few weeks ago in the NESCAC quarters. Did you feel like maybe the pressure was off and that helped you in this one?
I think with a couple of losses, I think it was a reset we needed. Nothing's going to be given to you. Everything, you got to earn it. And I think that kind of punch in the face from Hamilton, it kind of woke us up a little bit, took us a reset. We got 2 weeks, and we really emphasized just getting better ourselves, not focus on anyone that we're going to see, not focus on the NCAA tournament. We took those 2 weeks just to work on ourselves, get just as better as we can as a team, and what's going to happen in the NCAA tournament, focus on the little things, and the big things will take care of themselves. So that was a goal for us, just focus on us, get better each and every day.
Yeah, I think as us being a young team, there's certainly going to be bumps in the road, and I think those losses not only helped us reset, but helped us look at some of the weaknesses we had and some of the mistakes that we were making. And thankfully, a lot of those were very fixable mistakes. And I think it was a good kick to us to, there's any team in the country can beat us, and we can beat any team in the country. We just have to play our game, get those ground balls, do all the little things that make this program so great. And, I think we did that.
Just wondering how you guys used the earlier meeting with RIT for today.
Yeah, I think defensively, there were some things we looked at from their game earlier in the season that I think we had to adjust in this game, specifically like some of our slide packages, some of our slides from the near pipes. I think they really beat us in some of those last game. So I think it was making some adjustments to that and, implementing a little bit of zone this game. But I think most importantly, the reason we lost that game and the reason we won today was, the little things, the ground balls in front of the cage, the plays in the middle of the field, clearing the ball, riding the ball. I think, that was really the difference maker. And when we looked at the film, it was like, these are all things we can fix with pure effort. This isn't skill. This isn't talent. This is just us working harder than them. And, I think we were able to do that today.
Yeah, offensively, I think the film was crucial, just being able to go back, seeing what they're trying to do against our offense. And, we had a couple different offensive playmakers getting pieces moved around. I think that helped us give them kind of a different look than what we gave them before. And like Connor said, just being able to see kind of the mistakes we made and kind of being able to adjust those. And overall, just kind of simplify our offense, not trying to do too much, work together, and just know the easy looks will come.
Final one for the student athletes. Go right here.
Charlie, you had 3 goals in the first quarter. Wound up finishing with 4 goals. You were quite the facilitator too out there. I mean, what was it? Was that RIT's defense was seeing something you can just react to? What was it out there for you?
Yeah, I mean, when you have guys like Jack Rugnieri, Brooks Hauser, Max Eddinghausen down at attack, they command so much attention, and it helps kind of our midfield group get a lot of space, kind of make the looks very easy just because of our spacing, because they don't want to slide off those guys. They're great shooters, great dodgers, so it kind of gives me, Garrett Kelly, Chase Bear, all of our other middies, a lot of space to kind of read the defense. And, RIT is a really good defense. They've been very good all year, and so for us, the biggest thing, like I said, working together, spacing them out, and trying to just use some of our athleticism to kind of get the easy looks.
All right, thanks, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Questions for Coach? Start up front here. I'll go there.
Coach, I'm just curious your opinion. Is it harder in a game like this to come back or to hold a lead when the action is this fast?
Well, fortunately, we've seen RIT every year since 2021, so we're pretty familiar with each other, and so we were really able to prep the guys on what this game was going to be like. And so when we go on a run, we know that they're capable of coming back. When they go on a run, we know what we have to do to try and counterpunch that. Earlier in the year, they went on a run after we did, and we weren't able to counterpunch. So I think for our guys, it's just keeping that mental toughness, which is what they did. And again, it's such a young group. just to see those guys really mature the second half of the year. So after last year, I'd prefer to be in the lead. That's way more fun. But I think, having that little cushion early on was good for our guys. They could settle us down a little bit and just allowed us to play with a lot fewer nerves out there.
Coach, kind of building on that, you get out to that early lead. You're up 8-3. It seems like in the blink of an eye. How do you balance in that moment with your guys the positivity of we're out to a great start with the reality of RIT is going to come back in this game? They're too good offensively to be comfortable now.
Yeah, I think that's a testament to the guys. We being here last year was huge for us, just to understand what it's like to be out there on the field, the crowd noise, the size. And we told them, hey, listen, during the game, you're not going to be able to hear us as a coaching staff. And they knew that, and I'm pretty loud, and they can't hear me. And so really every time they came off the field, whether it was a timeout or the end of the quarter, that was coming from them. Hey, we're good. Don't get too high. Don't get too low. We're good. We got this. Just get us the ball. We're good to go. So to see that maturity out of such a young group was pretty incredible. So I just tried to say as little as possible today and let those guys run the show.
Any other questions for Coach? Yep. Come back here.
Coach, 65 straight starts for Connor Garzone. What does his presence kind of mean in the cage for you guys, and what has he brought to this team through those 65 starts?
Yeah, he's a rock back there. It's pretty cool. He actually was Liam Entenmann's backup at Chaminade, so he got to learn behind a pretty decent goalie. And so I think for him, and I think with all these seniors, right, like they didn't have a senior year because of COVID. So really they came to college without ever having to be the guy, without ever having to be the leader. And we asked Connor to be that guy sophomore year, and he had a great year. And then we went up and played RIT, and he probably had the most frustrating game of his career. They were up 10-1 halfway through the first quarter. And I think that could really, buckle some guys and really, affect guys mentally. And instead, Connor just used that to, hey, I got to be better. I got to work. That's on me. I'll keep grinding. And, we're really excited to have him back next year. And, he's just really a calming force back there.
Coach, backtracking a little bit to the bracket reveal, you guys are going to go on the road, some really good opponents ahead of you. What was the message to the team at that point?
Yeah, we were, it was a pretty consistent message. After the Hamilton game, I got after those guys pretty good, lit them up just because it wasn't like I was angry with them, like as people, but I knew that we weren't maximizing our potential. And so, maybe we had to change up our message as a coaching staff a little bit and just try and figure out a different way to get these guys headed in the right direction. And really from that Monday on, those next 2 weeks, we were like, you can send us anywhere. You can send us to the Carrier Dome. You can send us to Klockner, and we'll be excited to play because it's us versus us. And that was the messaging. And so, I think for us, we knew that we were going to get in, and we didn't really care where we were going. We were just focused on us and being the best version of us. And, again, it would have been nice to have some games on Bello, but on the flip side, we got 3 weekends in a row of a lot of bus time, a lot of hotel time, a lot of team meals, very few distractions, being on the road, especially during graduation and all that stuff, and really just a chance for us to get closer as a unit. And I think that, you saw today how much that paid dividends for us because that was a really cohesive unit out there. And we couldn't have done it without Garzone or Chuck or the last guy on the bench. We needed everybody, and we got everybody today.
You guys are so young. Did you feel like you were playing with like house money today, knowing you have so many of these kids back next year?
Well, I think that's always the trap, right? It's like, oh, we're going to be back a bunch, right? And so we talked about it last night at the team meeting. It's like, hey, listen, like, I think we're really good. I know we're young, but we can't take this for granted. We can't take this opportunity for granted. You could say, hey, we're going to be great. We're going to be great every year. We're going to be here every year. And then all of a sudden you get complacent. But I think more than anything else, it's just gaining experience for those young guys. We played 4 or 5 freshmen today. We probably played, 10 sophomores. Played only 3 seniors, 4 seniors. So the standard is set now, and we're gonna push these guys pretty hard next year.
Over to the right. right, Coach.
Coach, can you just kind of talk about that moment at the end of the game? The horn sounds, and you're the victor, but from your perspective also as a Tufts alum, and not just as the coach of these guys.
Yeah, I mean, I was just super proud. As an alum, I said to the guys in the locker room after the game, listen, when we as a team win a national championship, every alum feels like they just won the national championship. I know when I came here, I graduated in 06. When I came here in 2010 and we upset Salisbury, I was just a fan in the stands, but I felt like I had won a national championship. And so I know how much that means to those alums. And I really do think that we have the best community in all of lacrosse across any division. Those guys care so much. And they're so supportive. And if we need anything, they are at the ready or proactively jumping up and be like, hey, how can we help? How can we make this easier? How can we make this better? Again, between, coming on the heels of Mike Daly, who is a living legend, and going to 5 national championship games in 6 years or 7 years or whatever it is, and winning 3 of them, you have some pretty big shoes to fill. And so you have that, and then COVID happens and all the other stuff, and you're like, this isn't very easy. But you get to lean on those guys, lean on the alums, lean on the parents, and they're just there for you, and they make your job easier. And when you have that kind of support, it makes your job a lot easier.
Sorry, Jake alluded to some of the bounces in the fourth quarter. I just wanted you to talk about that series with about 2:30 left, late in the shot clock, and you got a nice little pickup and score.
Yeah, very rarely do we say, hey, we're not going to the goal. I think I say that maybe like once or twice a decade. But I think, our guys understanding the situation, we know how surgical RIT can be. Obviously, we've seen them every year, and they can score 1 million goals. So just understanding the situation, and I think that has been the coolest thing over the course of the last month is, after that Hamilton game, just saying to the guys, hey, trust us. Trust us. We're going to tell you exactly what to do on offense, exactly what to do on defense. And if you guys buy in, like we can have a pretty special run right here. And there were no egos, and the guys really did buy in to what we wanted to do. And so, really you get down to that last exchange and, just tell those guys, hey, we know what we're doing here. And they just sort of give you the head tap and like, yeah, we got this. And then I just had all the trust and all the faith in the world in them to get the job done those last couple minutes.
Final question for Coach? No? All right. Thanks, Coach. Congratulations.
Yeah. Hey, let me just say real quick, I just want to thank you guys so much. Like, I think lacrosse is an incredibly special sport where, Division III is really in lockstep with Division II and Division I, and the amount of coverage and publicity and, news and attention that you guys give Division III lacrosse is unlike any other sport. And I'm just so incredibly grateful to be a part of you guys, and to have you guys in our corner. And I just want to say thank you so much for everything that you guys do. So appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.